Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign commitment into measurable forest recovery. The private sector has a critical role to play in reversing forest loss and investing in restoration. Businesses must adopt and enforce zero deforestation commitments across supply chains, particularly in agriculture, timber, and infrastructure. Beyond compliance, companies should invest directly in landscape restoration through public-private partnerships, fund community-led tree planting, and support sustainable production models that protect forest ecosystems while securing raw materials. When business runs profitability with forest stewardship, it creates jobs, secures supply chains, and builds the resilient environment on which long-term growth depends. As we do so with renewed confidence, clarity of purpose. The Foundation has concluded the development of the 26-30 strategy, direction which provides a forward-looking framework to guide our work as increasingly complex environmental landscape. The strategy reflects our ambition to deepen impacts across climate action, biodiversity conservation, pollution management, and institutional strength, while leveraging innovation, partnerships, and resource mobilization to achieve greater scale and effectiveness. It positions NCF not only as a conservation organization, but as a leader in advancing sustainable societies where people and nature thrive together.
Us all to the 37th Annual General Meeting. This AGM provides not only a statutory moment of accountability, but also a strategic opportunity to reflect on the state of our environment. We all swam here, I believe, this morning, so we all know the current state of our environment, the effectiveness of our governance, and the collective progress we are making in safeguarding Nigeria's natural heritage. Governance under Asian landscape continues to present both significant challenges and important opportunities. Globally, biodiversity loss, climate change, and pollution remain major threats to ecosystems and human well-being. At the same time, the implementation of the Global Biodiversity Framework and growing recognition of nature-based solutions have strengthened international commitment to conservation. In Nigeria, pressures on forests, wetlands, mangroves, and wildlife continue to grow due to population expansion, infrastructure development, unsustainable resource use, and climate-related impacts such as flooding, drought, coastal erosion, and desertification. However, new opportunities are emerging through climate and biodiversity finance, nature-positive investments, and ecosystem restoration initiatives. Against this backdrop, the Nigerian Conservation Foundation remains committed to providing leadership and building partnerships to conserve Nigeria's natural heritage while promoting sustainable development. Activities undertaken in the year under review. In the year under review, we continued with our flagship events, the SLA Memorial Lecture, the special environmental days which we celebrate, and the Walk for Nature, as well as the Nigerian Conservation Ball. We look forward to welcoming more of our members at our flagship events and engagement with people, places, and partnerships. I wish to pay special tribute to our field officers and project teams who work tirelessly, often under very difficult and insecure conditions, to deliver these interventions. Their professional resilience and unwavering commitment to protecting Nigeria's natural heritage embody the values of the foundation and remain indispensable to our continued success. Our finance, we continue to operate on sound financial principles. Challenges. While significant progress has been made, the National Executive Council remains mindful of risks that threaten environmental sustainability and institutional effectiveness, such as this is a philanthropic activity. We have countless meetings. All members are on at least 2 committees. Some members chair committees, and we meet for extended hours. Thankfully now, mostly online. So even the cup of tea and the biscuits they used to enjoy when they came physically, they no longer enjoy. They have to make their own tea in their homes and eat their own biscuits during the meeting. I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for your dedication. I'd like to thank the management under the able leadership of our Director General, Dr. Joseph Onoja, and all the staff for their dedication. And to our partners, particularly Chevron, I don't know why they're not here, very unlike them. They are across the road and they're one of our major partners, for their steadfast support. And to all our partners, both foreign and local partners. And to all our members and volunteers, we have a lot of volunteers who work along with us in the conservation space, for their unwavering commitment to nature conservation. We also recognize the invaluable role of our donors and development partners, whose investments makes this work possible. As we reflect on the year's achievements, we do so with a sense of responsibility, not finality. The environmental challenges ahead remain significant, but our collective capacity to respond with innovation, collaboration, and resolve is greater. We thank you very much for being here, for attending this AGM, and we look forward to make the conservation space better, more effective, and more agile. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. I'll now call on the Director General, Dr. Joseph Onoja, to give his report. Thank you.
Distinguished members of the board, members of the National Executive Council, partners from government, development agencies, private sector, civil society, members of the foundation, dedicated staff, volunteers, and friends of the foundation. It is Director General's report for the 2025 reporting year of the Nigerian Conservation Foundation. This report reflects a year defined by delivery under pressure, expanding partnership and deepening impact across Nigeria's most critical ecological landscapes. At the same time, expectations for conservation organizations have continued to grow. Partners, governments, and communities are increasingly demanding not only action, but measurable results, scalable solutions, and demonstrable impact. Within this context, the 2025 required agility, collaboration, and a strong commitment to execution. And with that, I will be presenting the executive snapshot of our impact. So despite the complexity, the Nigerian Conservation Foundation delivered significant and measurable outcomes in 2025. 19,900 beneficiaries were empowered, 265,561 trees planted, 300 hectares of degraded landscape restored and habitat regenerated, 58 endangered fauna protected through different conservation actions across Nigeria's landscape, 515 schools reached across Nigeria, and we directly engaged 15,321 students, while 119 communities were actively involved in our conservation programs. This result represented through initiatives such as Work for Nature. We mobilized the public and raised awareness, and we engaged the youth in plastic pollution awareness, reaching thousands of participants and strengthening behavioral change messaging in urban centers. Our flagship program, especially the Green Recovery in Nigeria, continues to demonstrate the power of ecosystem restoration to deliver both environmental and livelihood benefit. As mentioned earlier, the Niger Delta Mangrove Restoration and Climate Justice Initiative integrated restoration, livelihood, and community governance. The Cross River Forest Governance Coalition strengthened collaboration among 20 civil society organizations and government agencies to combat deforestation. The Youth Climate Champions and Summer Camp, which continues to build environmental leadership amongst young people, and the East Atlantic Flyway Program, combining wetland restoration, border protection, sustainable livelihood, and so on. In terms of our partnership, in particular, with organizations like the UNDP, the Global Environmental Fund, the EKI, that is the German government-funded vehicle. We have the EU, WWF, BirdLife International, and numerous private sector partners have been instrumental in scaling our impact. For key lessons learned during the year is the importance of long-term community ownership in sustaining conservation outcomes, the need for stronger integration between conservation and livelihood system, the reality that behavioral change requires sustained engagement over time, and continued importance of diversified conservation financing mechanism. The year did not go without its challenges and constraints. And while we achieved this progress, their challenges remain. These include persistent funding gaps for conservation as we continue to see weak ODA support, weak enforcement of environmental regulations, fragmentation in institutional coordination, increasing pressure from urbanization and industrial expansion, and the growing impact of climate variability on ecosystem and livelihood. These challenges reinforce the need for stronger partnership, innovative finance mechanism, and more integrated approach to deliver conservation outcomes. During the year, we continue to evolve our approach to conservation delivery, that is talking about our strategic shift and innovation in delivery. We strengthened community-led models of conservation, expanded engagement with the private sector, and that's where we're able to form the Business Advisory Group for corporate organizations, so that they will be able to see that it's a tokenism to be talking about CSR. Rather, they should embed conservation programs. We advanced nature-based solutions as a central pillar of our work. We also integrated digital tools into environmental monitoring, education, and planning process. Importantly, we're increasingly moving from isolated project implementation towards more systemic landscape-level approaches that combine ecology, livelihood, and governance. And for our future priorities, we are focused we focus to remain to strengthen our impact, deepening partnership, and improving delivery systems across all our program areas. We will continue to scale ecosystem restoration, expand youth engagement, strengthen policy influence, and enhance conservation financing mechanisms that support long-term sustainability. We will continue to invest in community ownership models that ensure conservation outcomes are locally driven and sustained over time, which is our exit strategy in the projects that we implement. As I close, I want to, on behalf of the management team, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Board of Trustees, the National Executive Council, for their leadership and guidance. I also extend deep gratitude to our dedicated staff whose commitment continues to drive the foundation's impact across Nigeria's diverse ecosystem. To our partners, our donors, government collaborators, volunteers, and communities,
What item shall we do?
the auditors.
Hello? So, okay, to call on the auditors. Do I have your permission to do so, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll now call on the auditors, Messrs. Deloitte, to read the report of the annual report and financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Excellency, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, independent auditors report to the trustees of Nigeria Conservation Foundation, report on the audit of the financial statements. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of Nigeria Conservation Foundation set out on pages 4 to 41, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2025, the statement of income and expenditure and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity, and the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, including a summary of material accounting policy information and other explanatory disclosures. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of Nigeria Conservation Foundation as at 31st December 2025, and its financial performance and cash flow for the year then ended, in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and Financial Reporting Council Act of Nigeria, Amendment 2023. Basis of opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under these standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of financial statements section of our report. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. That takes us to the last paragraph of the opinion under report on other legal and regulatory requirements. In accordance with the requirements of other legal and regulatory framework, we expressly state that 1, we have obtained all the information and the explanation which to the best of our knowledge and belief we are necessary for the purpose of our audit. The Foundation has kept proper books of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books. The Foundation's financial position and its statements of profit, income and expenditure and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. The Secretary/CEO of the Treasurer who satisfy the financial statements are not registered with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, dated 29th of June 2026, signed by Chizoba Onyebuchi on behalf of Deloitte and Touch. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much to our auditors. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Mr. President, sir, should I continue, sir?
Please do.
Thank you, sir. I shall now invite questions and comments, if any, on the reports and financial statements, as well as the Foundation's general activities from the reports that have been presented by our President, myself, and the Director General. So do we have any comments? We have one hand up there. Can we have a microphone there, please? Thank you. Please state your name and please go straight to the point so that we can be quick. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my chairman, Your Excellency, the DG. My name is Dr. I.O. Obunna from the Department of Estate Management, University of Lagos. I want to commend your activities.
Thank you very much. The DG will respond to that. Let's take more questions or comments. Thank you, Dr. Obunna. Any other? Yes, sir. Please, the microphone in front.
Standing on existing protocol, appreciate us in this occasion. I'm Samson Olusoji Afolabi from Glorious Vision University, Edo State. I'm an agricultural extension specialist. My comments based on the current challenges in the nation and what we find the Nigerian Conservation Foundation doing. I think around January or March during the SLA Memorial Lecture, several of these issues on environments were touched. And from this report too, I was moved when I received the notice of this 37th annual meeting that not only will I want to be here virtual like I did the other time, I have to be here. The climate change scenario rushing everywhere. We are all aware of what is going on in the old Oyo Park, a place that is meant to be a natural biodiversity center, which is still there as a natural thing, but other things happening. So to commend this report, and particularly the auditor's report that gave what looks like a very professional assessment of state of things. But my comment is on this aspect of, I don't know how I can describe it now, carrying the youths along. I saw it at the SLA lecture, secondary school students, PhD award, and all those things that have been going on. And today, too, I see a lot of students here. But there is a gap. The smallholder farmers. Though this is not an agricultural agency, but down the grassroots, I think we should, some of us with the local farmers, a lot of this thing that NCF is doing, we keep on emphasizing it. So to commend that, carrying the young generation ahead, and with all this activity that is not just on paper, what is going on in this Oluwa something relevant forest is also part of your activity, which I see because I'm so to commend this agency to say that I think the country is moving forward at a level, but the NCF is also partnering to move things, and I wish we continue. But the gap, let's carry more of this, use the young ones along, then the smallholder farmers, which are providing food for us. And again, once I welcome more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the way from Edo State. I think he deserves a round of applause. Thank you for coming and for your insightful comments. Thank you. Any other comments? Any questions on the accounts before we move to a resolution? DG, do you want to respond to the issue of valuing biodiversity? Very quickly, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, Dr. Obunna, I'm going to be responding to, the valuation, the biodiversity valuation of the country, actually, we have it as an ambition. We usually support the federal government to be able to make that happen, and we are still working with them. They have to provide a framework for us to make that happen. So we are working with the various units of the Federal Department of Forestry, especially, to ensure that that is something that is being carried out, and also not just being carried out for the academic purpose of it, but also to put it as part of our GDP. Because if we look at our GDP, we are not what we call the eco capital accounting is not there. So we need to quantify it so I'll be able to know the value of the nature that we have. At a point in time during one of our SLEDU lecture, we had the evaluation of our forests so that people will know that these are resources. And the awareness is beginning to increase even amongst the private sector because the environment is the number one capital of production. So and that's why we are having the business advisory group of the private sector so that they will know that whatever they're doing with the environment should be part and parcel of their operations and not just something they are doing as CSR, because eventually it's going to be a risk issue for them as well. So they need to embed it into their accounting system. So we are working on that. But when the federal government gives quick maturing cereals to them, wheat, rice, and so on, that within 60 days they are matured and they are able to harvest before the drought comes. So these are some of the things that we are doing with smallholder farmers, and also engaging them, looking at it also from the environmental point of view. And you talked about Omo Olua Shasha Forest Complex. So if I'll give you a bit of background. So it used to be Omo Shasha Olua for Shasha Olua, so from Ogun, Oshun, and Ondo states. But during the Ife Modakeke crisis, some people were moved to the Shasha component of it. So it was severed. It was no longer contiguous. So we continue with the Olua and Omo component. But NCF is majorly in Omo now, in Ogun State, and we're working very closely with the Ogun State government, trying to push Ogun State government to declare it as a wildlife sanctuary, a 65,000 hectare land, so that we'll be able to protect the forest elephants that are there, which are critically endangered at the moment. So we are not resting on our horse. We are still pushing and ensuring that that happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Director General. So I think we can proceed with the formal part of the meeting. Item 1 on the agenda is to receive and consider the report of the National Executive.
The NEC and the Secretariat all together have been doing a fantastic job. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to move for the adoption of that document as mentioned by the President.
Thank you very much. Yeye Shobanjo. Shobanjo. I have Shobanjo in my mind. I do apologize. Do we have a seconder? Yes, please, name. Can you please state your name and organization?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing on existing protocols. My name is Alberto Osuji. I hereby second the motion moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Osuji. Will all those who are in favor, please signify by raising their hands. All in favor? Thank you. Anybody against? Any against? Thank you. So the result is that we declare that the motion unanimously carried. Thank you. The next item is the reappointment of the auditors, which is item 2 on the agenda. In accordance with section 357, subsection 2 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 1990, and the company's external auditors, Messrs. Deloitte, have indicated their willingness to continue in office. I therefore ask that we move that pursuant to section 361B of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Messrs. Deloitte be and hereby reappointed as auditors of the foundation. Can we have someone please move that motion, please? Anyone? Our honorary treasurer. Please, can we ask the microphone, please? And I think we already have a seconder waiting behind you.
Okay. My name is Femi Agbaje, and I move the motion, I propose the motion that we reappoint the auditors.
Thank you very much, Mr. Agbaje. And I hope it's not because you're seated next to the auditor.
No, not at all. Not at all, my lord. My name is Olusegun Fabumese, and I second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Anybody against? No? Thank you. So I declare the motion unanimously carried. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. I'll now have to hand over back to the president, sir, to continue under any other business, because the next item on the agenda is an item that he only can handle, and it's not within my jurisdiction to handle. So, Mr. President, sir, over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And
We're under AOB, sir. So for you to continue, sir. Thank you, sir.
anybody, we didn't receive any AOB requests, but just in case, anybody with any other business? None. Well, we have just approved a change in the Constitution requiring members of Board of Trustees to step down when they have attained the age of 85. I have attained 92. I've passed the age of 92. And I've accordingly resigned. Announced my stepping down as a member and as president of the Board of Trustees. But I'm very happy that we were able to persuade Professor Yemi Osinbajo, former Vice President of the country, to accept to become chairman of the Board of Trustees. I will now call on Professor Yemi Osinbajo for his acceptance speech. Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please sit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please sit. Our President Emeritus, Chief Philip Asiodu, the Chair of the National Executive Council, the Honorable Justice Bukola Adebi, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the National Executive Council, the Director General, directors of the Foundation, staff, volunteers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the NCF. It really is a profound honor and privilege to succeed a giant of public service and an eminent and distinguished statesman in the person of our President Emeritus, Chief Philip Asiodu. And I think it's even more remarkable that Chief Asiodu, as well as several others, including the founder, Chief S.L. Edu of blessed memory, and Chief Akintola Williams, I believe Chief Asukwo Obot, is it Dr. Asukwo Obot, Professor Ajayi, Seth Ajayi, and co., who were the initial thought leaders and founders of the NCF. I think that that was a generation of visionary Nigerians who somehow, so many years ago, saw the importance of environmental conservation, of biodiversity, long, long before climate change ever became the issue that it is today. And so I think that they deserve our commendation, they deserve our thanks, because but for them, perhaps we would not have the foundations that this country has been able to lay for climate action would never have been laid. We are way ahead of several other countries of the world, way, way ahead, on account of the vision of these gentlemen in those early days. I think just as we owe them a debt of gratitude, it's evident that the challenges that we face today are even graver than when they first started to think and talk and plan about climate action. The challenges are much graver, and we see them all around us. In this past week or so, we've seen the flooding in our own city, in this city of Lagos. We were saying just a moment ago, Dr. Majakulumi was saying a moment ago that that the United Kingdom and Europe is now hotter than even the hottest parts of Nigeria. About a week ago, the United Kingdom experienced between 38 degrees and 41 degrees centigrade of heat. Now that's the sort of thing you expect to find in Yola or somewhere in the hottest parts of Nigeria. But that's been experienced everywhere else. So there's no question at all that we are in the most challenging times with respect to climate change. But we're also in the most advantageous position. We have technology, we have AI, we have so many different advantages that should enable us to do much better and make greater progress in ensuring that we serve our environment and serve this earth in the way that we ought to. And I'm so glad to be a part of the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, which is evidently the foremost body for paying attention to climate action in Nigeria. And I'm not talking of government bodies. This is a completely voluntary association, which is what makes it greater and what makes its efforts even more remarkable. And I think that all of us, should not only commend ourselves, but we should also devote ourselves and dedicate ourselves to the greater tasks that lie ahead, also fully recognizing that we are better equipped, we are better informed than those who pioneered this great foundation. So I say with great humility and great hope for the future that I accept this responsibility of being president of the National Conservation Foundation. And I must say also that if precedent is anything to go by, there appears to be also a package of longevity that is attached to this position. So the founding president, Chief S.L. Edu, passed on at the age of 91. And Chief Philip Asiodu is 92 and still going strong. And so you can imagine how pleased I am to be succeeding Chief Philip Asiodu, knowing that he has so many, many more years to live, and knowing that I will also be an inheritor of. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the great acceptance speech. We look forward to greater days ahead for the foundation. I think we can sit down now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the business of this meeting. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, members of the National Executive Council, I would like to thank you all for your attendance and positive contributions. I hereby declare the meeting closed. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. It's just bye for now. Thank you. I think we can now. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We'll come privately to come and extend our appreciation. So on behalf of our new president and our President Emeritus, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the National Executive Council, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone for coming out today to come and celebrate our AGM with us and the conferment of our new, or the announcement of our new president of NCF. Thank you very much and safe journey back home. I hope we don't have to swim. I would like to take some pictures. I would like to put a sash on our new president and take some pictures with him in groups very quickly before we go. Thank you. Can we have the members of the Board of Trustees and NEC that are present here to please come? After that, we'll have the fellows join us and our honorary legal counsel and the auditors. And then after that, quickly, other groups. I don't know the other groups, but the DG will be able to advise us. Should we come to the front? Where are the photographers? Where do you want us? Okay.
But remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race, okay?